Hello and welcome to a new video of the Proper Form Friday series. Today we'll be looking at the machine chest press. This exercise is a compound pressing movement with some stability demands removed as it is being performed on a machine. The primary muscles being used are the pecs, the triceps and the anterior delts, which are better known as the front delt of the shoulder. The secondary muscles would be the rest of the shoulder, the serratus anterior and the lats, mainly for stabilization. The movement broken down will be horizontal shoulder adduction, which is bringing the elbows together in front of your body. This is performed by the pecs and to some degree the front delts. There will be some shoulder flexion, which is bringing the arm up in front of your body. This will be performed by the front delts and to some degree the upper pecs. And finally there will be elbow flexion, which is carried out by the triceps. How to perform the machine chest press. Most machines will have adjustments for seat height and handle position. The seat height is important as it allows you to find a point where your handles are positioned around the lower part of your chest. The goal is to have the elbow tucked to some degree by your side and also directly behind the resistance. The tucking of the elbow by your side is for shoulder health, and having the elbow directly behind the resistance will improve power and allow the correct muscles to be targeted. If the handles are too high, the triceps will have to do more work, and too low may be uncomfortable for the shoulder and have the front delt do more work. Once the adjustments of the machine is set up for you, the next part is for you to set up in the machine. If the machine you have available has the handles too far back towards your ribs at the starting position, this can be somewhat dangerous for the shoulders. If the handles do seem too far back, I would recommend one of two methods. The first method is to find a block or a plate and wedge it in front of the stopper at the bottom range of motion. This means that when you are completing your first rep, the handles are more in front of your body. The second method is to drop down from above and attempt to wedge yourself in between the seat and the handles, pushing them out of your way as you drop into position. If the handles are quite far in front of you or you are not pressing too heavy currently, you don't need these tips yet. Next, retract your scapula. This is bringing your shoulder blades back together and down. This means you'll have a stable base to press from, your shoulder will be in a safe position, and your pecs will be more elongated. Once your upper body is locked into position, you can perform your reps. Press the handles forward while keeping the elbows reasonably tucked down at all times. On the eccentric, control the weight. For leg drive, which may provide you with a few % more power and strength, push yourself back into the bench. This will make the base you are pressing from as stable as possible. If you are having any difficulty with wrist pain, make sure the wrists are stacked on the handles and not bent backwards. A tip for this is to turn the wrists in very slightly so the handle is going almost diagonal in the hand. The micro variations of this exercise. A wider grip will put more emphasis on the pecs as there is less movement of the elbow. However, the wider grip, the more difficult it is to keep the elbows tucked by your side, so be very careful with this. Conversely, the more narrow the grip, the more tricep dominant this exercise becomes, as the elbow will extend more. But the good news is, it is easier to keep the elbow by your side, so it can reduce the risk of injury on the shoulder. The strengths of this exercise. The load potential of this exercise is excellent, as it is a machine and has a predetermined movement path. Therefore, the stabilization muscles are removed from the movement. The machine press in this example is unilateral, so both sides are working individually. This can break down any imbalances over time. The learning curve for this exercise is quite low, so one can progress with it relatively quickly. Although it can be seen as a strength from a chest hypertrophy standpoint, the fact that stabilization is removed with machines means this exercise is not as valuable from a functional movement standpoint when compared to, say, dumbbell bench press. Furthermore, a machine like this is a one-size-fits-all approach, which is somewhat necessary for manufacturing, so these machines may be less optimal for some individuals. Injury risks. The main injury risk to look out for is when beginning the exercise. Make sure you are not beginning the exercise from a compromised shoulder position. This would look like the shoulder is too far back behind the body and or the elbow is too high in the air. Avoid these common faults. Progression. To progress, while still attempting to have stabilization removed, I would consider the Smith machine barbell bench press. A regression would be the push-up or the knee push-up, trying to control the weight down over the course of maybe 4 or 5 seconds. A variation would be the dumbbell bench press. With the dumbbell bench press, we are still maintaining a unilateral movement, i.e. each limb works separately, but we do introduce the stabilization as another factor. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you learned something and have a good day.